This week on the Afro Journal.
Wish that my parents did. See what I'm saying? African parents, but that my parents did was I wish they believed in my football career.
Oh my
I wish they believed in my ability to make it as a football player.
Let them
Americans,
know.
I mean soccer. Because I know you're looking at me like this guy's a skinny guy. Yeah, I'm not trying to play American football, fam.
Can you believe that?
Oh,
Jamal will
man.
beat
I
your
bet
ass.
someone should take Peter to Bora Bora because this guy said that like every episode he talks about Bora Bora.
You know what?
I feel like
I wish they kind of not taught but like put into my mind that like it's okay to be corrected. It's okay for like me to receive help. I think growing up, because of the tough love that they instilled, I became very independent at a young age to the point where like I didn't want to hear, can I help you? Anything from anyone. Like even if I was suffering, it would be in silence because, you know, I didn't want them to think I couldn't, you know, reach these standards that they put me at, or just like showing somebody like, oh, like I might be a little stupid in this, you know, area.
Yes.
It's something that like even now, like I still very much struggle with it. Like I don't like asking for help, receiving help. I would rather very much just do it and get it over with by myself. But I'm realizing that, you know, I don't know everything. I need to be able to take help and critique from other people if I want to help myself grow. What up, party people, beautiful girls, handsome guys, welcome back to the Afro Journal. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Our people listening on audio, people watching the YouTube videos, thank you. Let's just, you know, keep liking, keep subscribing, keep sharing, tell your friends to tell their friends to tell their friends. Let's keep the good energy and good vibes.
Good vibes. And these are free vibes. And these good vibes are for free.
We're not charging you.
We're not charging you for this. All we're asking for is just a small like.
A small subscribe.
That's it.
A small share to your friends, your uncles, your aunties.
Baby.
You know? Hey.
Oh man.
Hey. Hey. Hey.
It's your beautiful, blessed chocolate melanin queen, Leia Kume.
Wow.
Actually, so give you.
Is your no pink cup today? Chiso, AG Kevin, Jeremiah Okafor.
And it's your another banker, Peter Ikechukwu and Chibuzo Aliego Jr. Another
Banga.
Another
Period.
one. Love it.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to cue Milani real quick so she can interpret last week's proverb for us. So here we go.
Alright, you guys, as you know, last week the proverb in French was Quand l'oiseau ne connaît pas l'arbre, il ne va pas s'y reposer. In English, that translates directly to when the bird does not know the tree, it does not rest there. And basically, in short, only visit good neighbors. But widely, I would say really be careful and be mindful of the people that you trust. Make sure that the people in your circle are people that you love and that you can trust and that you can confide in, knowing that everything that you put out there is safe, okay? Don't just go out here planting seeds in places that you don't trust, because like I said, okay, don't build a nest in a place you don't know.
All right. Thank you, Milani, for that, you know, explanation. Really appreciate that French or that Francois. If you bonjour, monsieur, je m'appelle.
I'm actually quite good at French.
Give us something small.
Check it out. Je m'appelle Chisom Ejikeme Jeremiah
This guy, you don't even
Okafor.
sound French. Get out of here.
Je suis Nigerian.
Nigerian? What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, that's how you say Nigeria in French.
Nigerian?
Yes, I'm Nigerian.
Guy, that sounds off. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've never heard Nigerian. I learned French in secondary school. I never heard
Guy, but your French is jacked.
Nigerian.
Tu es très terrible.
Okay, let's just drop the French. Let's move on. All right. Let's get into the episode. You know, episode what? I believe this is episode 27.
You're
Where are we moving? Almost 30. Almost 30 years old, man. We're already
Damn,
young.
man.
God damn.
Why not? Why not? Late 20s already.
Exactly,
That's
man.
crazy.
That's
We're
crazy.
old.
We're getting old.
We need to get married. We need to get married real quick. I'm looking for a
Facts.
wife. We're looking for a wife to the Afro Journal podcast. You feel me? Actually, we
Oh,
already have
man.
a wife.
We
We
already
already have a
man.
wife. What am I saying? We have a wife. You got a wife at we married young. Episode 20,
Yeah.
21. We got married.
Episode 20.
Episode
fam.
20. Wow, we're doing
Wow.
old school kind of marriage.
Yo, old school vibes, you know, that old school type of love, you know what I'm saying? Hey, that's a sweet one.
We just need a son now. We need to produce a son.
We do.
need an
Firstborn.
heir. We need an heir to the Afro. All right, let's get into today's episode. Chiso, could you break down what we're talking about today?
Yeah, so today we're talking about, it's a special topic, I think, things that we wish our African parents told or taught us.
Damn,
You
man.
know, we're just going to break those down because we have all these stereotypes about how we were raised and all that, right? I mean, that was cool, but we're not going to be too stereotypical today. You know, we're going to give you things that we actually wish that our parents taught us from a young age, or at least they told us before now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean,
so
even if you're not from Africa, you're melanated deficient, or you're
Deficient.
Arabic, or you're whatever you're from, Sha. If you can relate, you can relate. Just share your stories down in the link. You feel me?
facts, because I mean, I think a lot of people will be able to
Yeah.
relate to this because
Yeah.
it's a cross-cultural thing.
Alright, so who wants to start? Bola, you want to start?
Oh God, can I not start?
You can start. You can start. I mean, if you don't want to
I
start,
can start. What's that wish that my parents did? See what I'm saying, African parents, but that my parents did was I wish they believed in my football career.
Oh my.
Chiso.
I wish they believed in my ability to make it as a football
Let
player.
them
But
know.
Americans,
Let them know.
I mean soccer.
Facts.
Because I know you're looking at me like this guy's a skinny guy. Yeah, I'm not trying to play American football, fam. But yeah, I was good. I
Same.
could have been Mbappe by now, man. I could have been Neymar.
Mbappe? Mbappe, you mean?
Isn't that what I
You
said?
say
He said,
Mbappe.
yeah.
It doesn't matter, man. You guys know what I'm talking about.
You guys,
I mean,
Mbappe. Do you know who I am?
who are you?
I'm Cristiano Ronaldo.
Of course.
A combination of both. You feel me? You feel me?
I think I
You
need to make the
feel me?
comeback.
Lowest, I'm Luka Modric. That's the lowest. That's the lowest I'll be. I'm a Luka kind of player. Luka Modric. Real Madrid is my minimum. You feel me? Real Madrid is my
Oh,
minimum. But I do share that same sentiment because of my parents didn't believe in my football career. Because that was the thing I was actually very serious in. Like the
Yeah.
first thing in my life that I was serious in was football.
Yeah.
Like forget
Yeah.
school, forget all, learning how to cook,
All that jazz.
learning how
Yeah.
to speak my own language, forget all that nonsense.
Yes.
Football,
Football was
every
it.
day outside. When I
Guy.
came back from school, I played to the sunset.
It's actually every day. Like when I think about my childhood, it's like, bro, like how I became so good. Because to me, you talk about natural talent a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of the principles that we struggle with as adults, it's kind of like consistency, doing it every single
Yep.
day. These are things I did as a child.
Yes.
Every day without even trying.
Yes.
Like every day after school, I go to play football. Now I'm wondering, why am I good at football? Well, I did it every single day.
Yes.
Like I remember when I wanted to learn how to do a backflip, because I was a very agile child. So I was like, I want to learn how to do backflip. I remember for like 2 weeks, every single day after school, I go to my house, go on my mom's bed, because my parents' bed was huge.
Yeah.
And obviously I was a tiny midget. So I'll just be doing practicing my backflips on their bed. In like 2 weeks, I learned how to do that shit.
Yeah.
It's just all these work ethics as children that kind of become difficult when you become adults.
Yeah.
'Cause you're not necessarily having as much fun anymore.
Yeah.
Now I'm doing engineering. I'm a high value man by now.
Oh my god! I should have been in Europe. You know what I mean? I should have been getting my world record transfer to Real Madrid by now. Wearing that number 7 jersey. You feel me?
You see Bole like,
That Nigerian boy. No.
You see the whole of Nigeria just feeling me. You feel me? Just feeling me.
exactly. You know that Nigerian guy that has gone viral recently. The guy that I think he's in this American movies. He's from Britain. I think his name is Idris. Is it Idris?
It's not
Or
Idris.
is it Dempsey?
It's not Idris.
Who?
It's definitely not Idris.
Dempsey. You know the guy that.
Shit, what's his
You know what I'm
name?
talking about?
We'll put the
Idris,
picture.
yeah, Idris, yeah.
We'll put the picture.
Idris something,
He's
yeah.
fine.
So it's like, kind of like you know, how
He's
everyone's
fine.
like, oh, that's my guy,
Yeah,
that's the husband.
Snowflake?
That'd be me. That'd be Snowflake,
He's
yeah.
fine.
That'd be me by now. They'll be watching me playing for Arsenal. Maybe Man City,
Well,
maybe.
well, unfortunately, as a 5'9" man, some women don't feel my flavor, but that's okay.
Yeah, when you have that football
When
money,
I have that
whoa,
football money, I have that
Ooh.
football fame, I
You
have that
feel it.
football Instagram account.
they go feel that shit.
I have the clout, not even clout. I have fame. I don't. My stuff is not clout. I have fame. You feel me? When I was like
Then
that,
you're now good.
then my
Ooh.
parents would just be coming to Spain, Italy for free. We'll be going to Bora Bora. Like I'll just, be, you know what are they, Deborah?
You buy the Birkin
So,
company.
I would actually buy the Birkin copy for
You
Deborah.
actually do
I would
it.
actually do it. Can you believe that?
Oh,
Jamal
man.
will beat
I
your
beg,
ass.
someone should take Peter to Bora Bora because this guy said that like every episode he talks about Bora
Bora
Bora.
You know what?
Bora
You know
Bora
I
what?
feel like Bora Bora.
You know I say Bora Bora.
Why?
I used to watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians as a kid on E.
Yeah.
On E. All my people that know E know what's up. That channel E.
I know E.
Kim Kardashian and the family went to Bora Bora, and I was like, damn, this place is so cool. So it's always been stuck, and it was Bora
It's
Bora.
stuck, yes,
It's
it's
always been
there.
stuck in my head since then. I was like, that's a lit ass vacation spot, man. So I was like,
Oh,
I want to go there someday. That's why.
Amen.
oh man.
Amen
But
to
yeah,
that.
mommy and daddy, I just want you to know that I'm sad that you didn't believe in me.
No,
But it's
Oh.
alright.
my son will be. It's okay. No pressure. No pressure.
Oh man, but they went the safe route, so it's fair. Cause low-key, I'm also injury prone.
Yeah.
So who knows what
Chisom
will
is actually I'm not very injury prone at all. But I have a
Yeah.
feeling that like if I get one injury, to be like a major one,
And
like,
it's over.
like a leg break. Like one I'll have to be out for like 9 months.
Yeah.
You know, like a year.
Yep.
Like that Van Dyke one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, the guy's all set though,
Yeah.
kinda. Oh man. All right, we can go into the next one.
All right.
Peter, you want to give us one?
Okay. I wish my parents taught me how to drive in Nigeria.
To drive? When did you leave?
Yes.
How old were you when you left?
I left at
How to
15.
drive.
I mean, that year I did my driver's license and all those kind of stuff, but I was still too young to actually get it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just did
Yeah.
it for fun, just to compete with my sister, just tell I'm a better driver. You feel me? So, but like, yeah, like I wish like earlier, like we had that transition.
I mean, you are young though, 15.
Yeah, but I want to be driving, in Nigeria. Just like zoom, zoom, zoom.
Yeah, driving in Nigeria is actually a headache, bro.
But it's so fun,
Right.
though. Not gonna lie.
That I'll tell you from experience. That is not fun, man. Like driving in America is easy.
Yeah,
know,
you
when
have
you're,
like,
like,
your
when you're
lanes,
stressed-
your lights.
Exactly. When you're stressed, you go for a drive.
No,
In
but
Nigeria,
you
when
so
you're stressed, you sit your
honestly,
ass back
probably
home.
because I see it as like I'm gamifying it.
Yeah,
But like like
Oh,
how
yeah.
Nigeria zoom,
bro,
Shit's stressful.
like
You never have your
oh
lanes.
gosh, man.
bro.
Honestly,
Like that thing was, and I learned how to drive in manual too.
yeah.
I'll say manual is fun though. Manual is fun. Like that thing
Mm-hmm.
is you're more involved in the drive. Automatic is too. It's too simple, but it's also less stressful because in Nigeria there's so much traffic. Driving manual in traffic is the worst. It's the worst thing to do. Oh man, shoot. But Peter wants to learn how to drive. That's your big thing.
Yeah, man.
That's your big.
Honestly, I would like to. I couldn't think of one right there. But I just thought of a random one. Oh my gosh, man.
I'm so
All right,
dead.
but I better give us
Okay,
something.
let me get emotional. But
Ooh.
something I wish my parents taught me was like how to manage my emotions. So like
Ooh.
voicing my opinion, not like
Ooh.
like shying away from things, and just like how to
Mhm.
express myself correctly. Because I feel like growing up watching them, like my mom is very like, so I take everything from my dad. My dad is like the laid back one. He's very shy, reserved to himself. And my
Yeah.
mom is the one that's like in your face, aggressive,
Bubbly.
like
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
And just like seeing their dynamic, I feel
Mm-hmm.
like I became afraid basically to be able to say like what's on my mind, tell people how I feel. And that's
Yeah.
something that like obviously in my episode when I guest starred, like that's something that has
Yeah.
followed me throughout like my life. And that's
Mhm.
something I'm still working on today. But
Yeah.
definitely, being told that like your emotions are valid, what you're feeling, I think that would have helped me grow into a much more emotionally stronger person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that makes so much sense. Cause I mean I think my experience with the whole emotional side was like they never really sat down with me to talk to me about my
Yeah.
emotions. But they kind of validated it a lot because I was a very emotional kid as well. Right? Like like when I say emotional, it's kinda like I won't lie to you. You know when you're going to boarding school And then you start crying because
Yeah.
you miss your
that
family.
was
I was
me
that
too.
kid.
That was me too. That was me too.
I was
That
like,
me
and
too.
I literally cried to like, this is embarrassing to say. If you were one of my friends in high school, just stop watching. Just stop watching. I cried till like GS3. Like in my head, I'm just like, I don't know why I'm crying. Cause once this guy's leaving,
You're fine.
Yeah.
But like they tease me about it, but they never like, oh, like at your age you're still crying. Like, how dare you? You know,
Yeah.
like they kind of like allowed me to go through that. Or when my mom will flog me. All right, like when my mom will flog me, literally she flogs me. You know how parents just flog you, abuse you, and let you go. Boom.
Yeah.
My mom will literally flog me. I'll be crying, you know, but not like crying that bad, but like, you know, like just pissed.
Yeah.
She'll now come. She'll now give you a hug. She'll be like, yeah, come on. I'll now sit down her lap. She'll now be like, but you know what?
Without your busted, yeah. She said aloud.
Yeah, but you know why I flogged you though, right? When she says that thing, I'll just start crying.
Oh
like
my
the
God,
weeping is like,
bro.
just, oh man, I'll not start apologizing like,
Bro.
oh mommy, sorry.
Oh my
You know,
God.
and then she'll not apologize. Even though I look you feel like crying right now.
Yeah,
Wait, your parents
bro.
apologized to you?
Yeah, like they'll literally
Must be
like she'll
nice.
say, sorry for like flogging you.
Yeah.
But I mean,
No, my parents.
the next day it will still happen again though.
my
but
parents don't apologize. to
Yeah,
me.
mine don't either.
But with that emotional stuff, I was like a crybaby, bro. Like a crybaby, and I was very shy when I was reading this. When I entered boarding school, that's when I was like, because the culture of boarding school had it had to brace
Oh,
up.
yeah.
It was either
Boarding
I
school
floated or I
brings out a lot
drowned.
in
You
you,
know what I
yep.
mean? Either I
Yep.
floated or I drowned. So I had to open my mouth. So when I got back to, when I stopped going back to boarding school in year 9, like I always had a confrontation with my parents. You know what I mean? And that was like a lot. And like obviously, like I couldn't like voice my own opinion. I couldn't like talk to them. So I'll have like all these emotions bubble in myself. Or like I'll be just be angry. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
So I couldn't really say anything.
yeah.
And obviously, my dad is going to kill me if I say anything mad. My mom is just going to look at my dad or I kill him if I say anything mad. You know, so it was kind of like
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah.
like in terms of like crime, bro, oh my gosh. I remember when I was going to the US for the first time when I was 15, and I was living for the first time. I was nervous, you know what I mean? And I was like leaving my younger sister. I knew I wouldn't see them for a very long time. I would see my mom that I've been seeing for like every day for like
Every day.
15 years.
Yeah.
And it was so emotional looking at my mom, you know what I mean? Because she invested so much in me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so much pains, so much struggles just for me to like, let me go basically. And it was, I was just crying, bro. I was crying. My dad was like, "Why are you crying?" I know, my dad is that kind of man. It's like,
That's my parents.
it's like,
Oh,
stop
yeah.
crying.
Yeah.
Stop crying like you're a man.
Like, why are you being
know
a
what I mean?
baby?
But he's being sarcastic. He will acknowledge, like,
okay, like he's teasing
he's
you.
like teasing me basically. It's not like being
Okay,
like
okay.
serious, like stop crying. You know what I mean? Stop
Yeah.
crying. Why the hell are you
My
crying?
parents are serious.
You know? Because my dad,
Well, your parents will even let you cry, but like,
No, my dad, his
Really?
line is, "Why are you crying? Close here, come." Bro,
it depends. It depends on the situation. Like it depends on the situation. My dad is like kind of like one that will say stop crying, while my mom is one that will console it. But my dad is never like the consoler, but he's never like that always strict with like, oh, why are you crying?
yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
yeah.
But like he had the balance. My dad had the balance. My mom is more of the like
the soft side.
The good
Like,
cop.
I mean,
Yeah.
she's the mom,
She's-
pretty much.
exactly.
She's the mom.
she's the mom. So like I remember like one time that my mom was like I remember we had this argument because I went back to Nigeria and she wanted me to like pick up like a physical thing and like we like a physical like skill.
Activity.
A physical skill, like become like learn
Like
how
a
to
vocation.
plumb, like learn how to be a
being a
mechanic or be a
plumber,
carpenter,
Yep.
like an apprenticeship. She just said, "I'll just go and learn," because that's like kind of parents I have. It's not as if you want to be book smart; you also must be good with with your
Yeah.
hands and everything like that.
Yeah.
So, and like it was probably like mistranslation or something, and I felt that she was like degrading me, telling me I was not smart enough, like because actually let me
Oh,
tell you guys the
man.
story. So it's not as if my mom didn't believe that I could become a double engineer, but she
Yeah.
felt that it was too much for me because of the kind of person I was in my early,
Yeah,
in my early years.
Yeah.
She was like, this kid is like, he's going to be overwhelmed. Like, let's not put him under that much pressure. Like, being a double major is like so much. Like, why would you do that? I don't want him to, go into that kind of process and feel all like just like that. She's like,
Yep.
just take it step by step. But in my head, I was like, I wanted to prove her wrong.
Yeah, it felt
And
like an insult.
It felt like an insult, like, oh, go learn how to be like a carpenter or like a mechanic. And like I got so angry. And like, obviously, me, I'm boiling. And, I'm showing it through my anger, my speech. This is when I was like 16. And like she sat me down, and like obviously we hashed it out. Like when she started talking about all these things about like the double major and stuff like that, bro, I started crying. I started crying because I was like, it was like so that like I had changed, I had improved. I had become more stronger. She wasn't trying to degrade me. She just wanted to, help me add more. Like, bro, man, I started crying, man, because
bro,
all my, I don't want to get emotional, but all my childhood,
say it, bro, say
all
it,
my childhood, like, I was never that kid that was good in school. You know what I mean? My dad was always asking me like, "What's wrong with you? Why are you not doing well in school?" I like that, like, really affected like me. Not it affected me, but like I felt I could never keep up with my older sister. You know what I mean? That was always the bar that she set. And like the fact that my mom believed in me that I could do all these kind of things, bro, man. Like it just saw how much effort I had changed, and bro, I started balling. Man. It was. I don't want to cry right now because I've moved past that. But that stuff hit me to my core as a man.
It is different, man. When you get that validation from the people you look up to, it's kind of what we talked about last time. Like lacking validation from your parents, we need that. No matter what, we need that. We need that thing. And even when it comes to the whole communication thing, low-key though, I feel like, even though my parents, I feel like there was a safe space for communication, but just because they also told me exactly what they expect from me, when I mess up, I'm low-key like very shy to own up to my mess up. So I always took my L's in silence, or I was just like unless I can't hide it, like if I can't hide it, I can't hide it. But I always try, like if I'm going through something, it's almost like I feel like I have to solve it because I need to look good. Yeah, like at least like reach the bar that they've set for me. And like I don't know, that thing kind of affected me. So even now when I'm like going through stuff, I'm like, well, I have to fix it myself. I have to do it myself. Like, bro, like just ask for help, fam. Like just tell them that you're struggling. Just tell them you don't need to solve everything by yourself. It's not that deep.
I mean, that's something I still struggle with today.
Same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, let me just do it up with myself. Like, I don't need to. Yeah. But my parents have like tried to push us in a certain direction of like every single major decision in your life. It's always good to console us. Not just us as parents, but also your siblings. Always have someone to talk to about when you're making a major decision in your life. Having multiple voices could really make a difference. You know what I mean? So, I mean, my parents have always tried to instill that in us. And I really appreciate it, man. I want to say they are doing a good job. That's all I can say. Like they're
honestly,
doing a good job.
Like when I was thinking about like things that I wish they did for me, look, it was actually quite hard for me to. Yeah, it was actually hard because they did almost everything. Like they might not have done it to the full capacity, but they did almost everything. Yeah. But one thing though, just to kind of pivot, I wish they taught me how to take failures better.
I mean, I was always taking L's because of so I was always used to taking failures. Yeah. It was like hard for me now to like try to get to success. You know, I mean, that was kind of complication I had because I was so used to like being degraded. Being told I was not good enough, I was not stepping up. Yeah, you know what I mean. So like, I had to believe in myself that I was better than what anyone else was telling me. You know what I mean, to push my success. Because I mean, my dad was always telling me that like like if you become a lazy child, like if you become a lazy boy, like your life is fucked. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he was very much right. Like if I wasn't serious in school, I'd be gallivanting doing stupid things. You know what I mean? So he was definitely right about that. And thank God, like he finally sank. He synced in my head. Eventually, and I was able to find my own direction. And obviously, I found it by I found it by myself, thinking for myself. I mean, my parents were there, but like it came from me. So I had like this, like this like dog. It was like you guys cannot talk. That I did it all by myself. You know what I mean? Because of like it was not because of you guys. I did it for me. So I had like that kind of mentality when I got a lot better, and that became like an issue between me and my parents. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like forgetting the role that they played
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
whole
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Because you think, oh, now you're a man, you forgot that you were a boy before.
Yeah, yeah.
When they were taking all your
when they
rubbish.
took all those chances on me,
Yeah,
multiple chances.
Oh man, like for me it was kind of like, okay, for example, if there's a high pressure situation, I feel like as a kid I always crumbled.
Ooh.
Right, if the expectation was high on me, because naturally, like when I was growing up I was smart, right? I was smart as a kid.
Mhm.
I was good at sports. So, and then I was now respectful. I was good. Like pretty much, I wasn't the perfect child, but I was pretty close to it.
Yes.
Does that make sense? So, like, I'm not saying that my parents expected perfection from me, but then when it came to like a situation where, oh, I might lose, and I was also very competitive, right? Like that was something with my family. We're all very competitive. So like I'll be running with my mom. I'm literally a 3-year-old trying to run with my mom, and if I lose to my mom, I start crying.
Yeah.
So my mom has to like let me win sometimes and all
Yeah.
that rubbish. And in my head, I'll be like, yeah, I won. That kind of thing. That's the kind of child I was.
Honestly, that's so funny because I used to run with my mom too. I never ran with my dad though. That was actually
Oh, no.
I never.
My mom was the active one.
Yeah.
Like, my mom was like that's where I got my sports genes from.
Yeah.
My mom played football. She took me to all the football games, did all that. Like my dad was just chilling. Like,
those are like fun memories.
yeah, facts, man. Like my mom, and she's also very competitive to
Yeah.
Loki. So, but that's a whole different ball game. But when it now came to high pressure situation, like when I went to secondary school, all that, I came in. I was like one of the fastest guys in the set, right? But then when it comes to the big stage, the inter-house sports, everyone expects me to win, all that jazz. That pressure almost like sinks me, and it's almost like I bottle everything in because I feel like, oh, I need to be the guy. I need to be that G.
Yeah.
But then I just can't perform for some reason. I don't know if it was my fault for never communicating with them, because obviously they are not in my head, so they are not going to be able to help me. Like they're trying to encourage me and just be like, oh yeah, you can do it, da. But I don't know, man. When it came to taking L's or like the possibility of embarrassment, I was trash at that. Like I think I became better over the years, but I was trash growing up, and it's still something I'm still
Working on,
today.
Yeah.
It's,
Bola, you go ahead. You go ahead.
I was gonna say it was kind of like the opposite for me. Like I come from a family that like they very much instilled like tough love. So like if you're ever going through something, like pick yourself up and just keep going. And you know, I definitely had my levels of like adversity growing up, high school, in Cameroon, coming back, and like even college. But like I'm the type of person like I would never allow something to affect me like to that point where like I can't do what I need to do. So it's very
You're
much,
destabilized, basically.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
would just take it for what it is and just, you know, keep going. I might have like my moment where like I'm upset, but like that's not gonna stop me, you know.
Yeah.
Facts.
For me personally, I was always like, it's not as if I was used to being embarrassed, but I had like this certain level of embarrassment that happened to me as a child. I mean, I was, like I said, I was kind of like in the middle of the pack. Like I was never like the fastest one. I was never like the slowest one. I was never the tallest one. I was never the shortest one. I was just in between. You know what I mean?
I was always low-key extreme. Like, I thought I was the shortest, one of the shortest guys
Yeah.
in the sets.
Exactly. So I was always in between. So and you know, when you're in between there's some certain of level, because you're not the extremes. You know what I mean? So there was some level of struggle that you had to go through.
Yeah.
So I was always used to, not I was used to, but I was always willing to take risks to put myself ahead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To become that extreme. You feel me? So like, I was always willing to take risks, and I had embarrassment, and I was naive too. So I was always used to understanding embarrassment and understanding like it lasts for a very short time. I mean, that's why you guys know I can take an L and just bounce off it.
Yeah.
You guys have seen me take
Yeah.
L's all the time. I was just eat it and bounce. You know what I mean?
It is what it is.
It is what it is. But like when I was a kid, like obviously I had to learn that by myself. You know what I mean? Obviously it added in with my family pressure and stuff like the expectations, you know what I mean? Not necessarily being degraded, but being questioned of my intelligence and stuff like that from my dad's side of things. You know, are you my son? Not actually are you my son, but like you're my son. I expect more from you. So like that level of embarrassment, I was like, I was always willing. I always had a level of embarrassment. Because they did it in front of my sisters, you know, my younger siblings too.
That's the worst.
Yo,
So, like-
that is
So like,
ah.
so I was always used to taking that, and I had to get like a layer of tough skin. My
Yeah.
younger brother even has. My younger brother suffers from that too. He has that level of tough skin. Like you can't like
Yeah.
get to him. Like any type of embarrassment, you eat it,
Yeah.
let it
Yeah.
go. But it affects your
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 psyche.
psyche, because if you're not mentally strong, it can really destroy you.
Yeah.
So
Bro, that thing is deep though,
it's
cause
deep.
when it came to me and Chima, especially when you have siblings very close in age, people compare you
A
a lot.
lot,
But what
yeah.
my parents always did, I think was really good. They were like, once they see any form of comparison, they just stop it right there. Like if teachers, friends, aunties, it's like, oh, you're doing this. Why is this one not doing this? It's just like once they hear all that rubbish, it's just like, hey, stop. They are both different, And like when they're trying to correct us, like let's just say they're trying to flog Chima now, they will take him to the room privately and destroy him there. They're not going to like destroy
In
before
front
of
of
us.
you.
No.
That's
Like we
good.
know what's happening. Yeah, we know what's happening. We know he's getting destroyed, but like it's private. They try not to publicly embarrass you, which was something I thought that they did really good. So
yeah.
I guess maybe that's what kind of made my fear of embarrassment even more, because I didn't really face the embarrassment that much at
Bro,
home. Like it's embarrassing, but it's not that
I
bad.
faced embarrassment, bro. Like, a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
my dad would be talking to me in front of my younger sister. And my younger sister and all the girls in my family is intelligent.
Yeah.
Extremely intelligent. It was the boys that were the problem. So it's me and our younger brother. The girls are sitting on the couch. Me and younger brother are just standing. My dad is looking at both of our results. He said, okay, what happened in mathematics? We'll say, at some point, you can't say anything wrong.
Yeah.
Say, oh, I'm sorry. I'll do better next time.
Like there's nothing I can tell you, sir.
then he that tells us or one of the siblings, one of our younger siblings, go bring the koboko, go bring the belt.
Yeah, my parents did that.
And
one.
that was-
They would tell someone else to
And
go
that was
bring the kid.
psychological. He's telling
Yeah.
the younger one to go bring the belt, come flog me, bro. Like, I think it also brought that family close.
Wait, did they make your sibling flog you?
No.
To go
get
they
the-
bring-
Okay.
they've told them,
Or just bring it? Okay. Got you.
Imagine.
That would have been embarrassing. Like,
So I was always used to that kind of embarrassment. It's not but when we're outside, like this is within family, right?
Within the family,
Within the
right,
family.
yeah.
So no one outside is going to know.
Right.
It's just between us and our family. Like look at what your brother is there, like keeping him accountable, basically.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think there's a room for that.
That was that.
There's
So,
room
but
for
like,
that.
but when he went outside, since I've already faced that kind of embarrassment, I had a ceiling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had a higher ceiling. So like, any embarrassment, I ate it. I mean, actually, I can't tell the story. So let's just
No, just tell him we'll cut it out. Tell him we'll cut it out.
I'm not telling this bloody story. This probably doesn't tell. So like, the embarrassment I can eat and I can go, That's how it is. I'm willing to take an L, basically. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
to get what I want. That's how
That
it is.
makes sense. Makes sense. All right, Bullet, give us one.
I wish they kind of not taught but like put into my mind that like it's okay to be corrected. It's okay for like me to receive help. I think growing up, because of the tough love that they instilled, I became very independent at a young age, to the point where like I didn't want to hear, can I help you?
Anything else.
Anything from anyone. Like even if I was suffering, it would be in silence, because I didn't want them to think I couldn't, reach these standards that they put me at, or just like showing somebody like, oh, like I might be a little stupid in this, area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something that like even now, like I still very much struggle with it. Like I don't like asking for help, receiving help. I would rather very much just do it and get it over with by myself. But I'm realizing that, I don't know everything.
Yeah.
I need to be able to take help and critique from other people if I want to help myself grow.
Yeah.
Facts.
Facts. I mean, that's one thing I also learned very young, because it was always me and my brother that were always struggling. So I learned how to kind of drag my brother along and realize that help is a very important thing for not only you, but the person that you're helping as well.
Facts.
And I mean, I was always the kind of person that loves collaborations. I always like thinking of like in my head how I think is that like, what could I get? It's not as if like I see people as objects, but like what is advantageous about having this kind of connection?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I know that at one point I'm not the smartest person. I definitely know that.
Yeah.
I'm not the fast. Like I've always said, I've always been in the middle. So I have to find
Yeah.
some sort of way to distinguish myself.
to get to the
And
top.
one of the things is like finding people who are so different from you, that have a different perspective, and getting knowledge from them, getting their own
Yep.
perspective, because that makes you a better
Facts.
person. You know what I mean? That's one of the reasons why I went back to BSc, because I realized I was missing a huge opportunity in WPI. If I was just a single-minded guy just thinking about myself, I would have stayed with, my guys that I met in my hostel, in my dorm. I would now have branched out. You know what I mean? And taking that kind of risk of like being in a new space in my sophomore year.
Yeah.
You feel me? Having that awkwardness. But that's the kind of person I am. I'm always willing to I understand the opportunity, and I'm willing to take the risk when embarrassment to me is nothing. Being the odd one out is nothing. I mean, that's why I was willing to go to China. That's why I was willing to go, to different spaces. Just so I went to.
Yeah.
I went to the.
I mean, you embrace being the other one.
Yes.
Like you embraced it with your whole heart.
Yes.
I don't think for me, I've always trying to find the space where I'm like, okay, like I have my people there.
Yeah.
Then I can go and be the other one out somewhere, but I know I can fall back to my people. Sha.
No.
That's the way my mindset is.
I definitely agree with you, but I think that came from me coming to the US alone and being the only African kid.
Facts.
And I was the only person, the only African basically in my whole space.
Yeah.
My accent was different. I was the only black kid in my football in my soccer team. So it was just like I was always the odd one out. So I had to balance myself, but I also had spaces for myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was always with the international guys. I was I had like 2 Vietnamese friends. You know what I mean? 2 cool dudes I always had that were my best friends in high school in Florida. But I also had my American best friends too. You feel me? So I always had different spaces that I could interact with, that I could learn from. You know what I mean? That's why I'm such an international. I love listening to international news. I love all these kind of things because it entertains me basically. I just love reading about it.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I know. Like you just going off of the whole correction thing. Like I said, like I grew up as like the good child, right? I was the good one, good at most things. So I remember I was talking to my sister over quarantine, and she said that one of the problems I have, this was literally last year, she was like, I take correction bad. Like I'm not good at taking correction. I was just like, what? Like, I was just like, what? Like, because to me that blew my mind, and I was about to take that comment bad.
Yeah.
Like that moment, but then I was just like, could that be true? And she was just like, anytime like someone, like it's almost like I believe that I'm always right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Because
very
I'm used
true.
to I'm used to being on the right side of things for some reason.
Yeah.
That thing low-key deep in my head. Like, when I thought about it, I was like, she might be right though. Like maybe I'm actually very. It's not like I'm closed-minded, because I think I'm very open-minded initially. But the moment I take the position, it's like
That's it.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm done. It's like it's a wrap,
Oh, yeah.
right? And maybe that comes from me thinking that I've thought about the whole thing through, and then like if I haven't, then I'm probably not gonna have a strong position about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something that I'm definitely like trying to work on nowadays. Being able to take correction, being able to even give people correction in a way that they'll be able to receive it too. Right? Because that thing also affects when I'm trying to correct someone, and then they feel disrespected in the way I'm trying to correct them.
Yeah.
And that's something that someone else, I think it was Martin that told me that too. Like she told me that, like she was like, yo, like it's almost like when I'm correcting people,
It's condescending.
yeah, it almost sounds condescending. I'm just like, damn, is that true?
Honestly, this is why I see it. There are areas that this is why I love differences. There are areas clearly that you are better at, and there are areas that I'm better than I am than you. You know what I mean? So like when I'm talking to an area that I feel that this is what women struggle with. When I'm clearly talking about an area that I'm clearly better than you in, understand where I'm coming from. I'm coming from a position of status. You feel me?
Yeah.
So understand that and accept my criticism. I'm not trying to degrade you or anything like that. I'm just giving you facts or fact. I'm talking, but this is when you have to differentiate between the way you talk to men and the way you talk to women.
Yeah.
But if you want equality, I will talk to you guys the same. You feel me? Because I have to give you, I have to give you straight the way it is. You feel me? But there are different ways, and this is when I realized that I was talking to my younger brother the way my dad used to talk to me.
And that used to piss
And
you
that
off.
Yeah.
And bro, when I found that out, I felt so guilty.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, bro. Because I know how it used to make me feel and degrading. Bro, that thing. That was one of. it's one of the things why I mean I've never cried about this, but like it's one of the things because I care about my younger brother so much, and he had a he struggled a lot more than me. You know, what I mean, he struggled a lot more than me, and and like me adding that pressure on top of him because I know how my dad is. My dad is so strong-minded. He's just, he doesn't change. You know what I mean? So like just me piling that on top of him, it's as if he had no one to console. Just a one-man island, all by himself.
Yeah.
You know, and his mom is there, his sisters are there, but like, who is the guy that he can actually talk to sit down and really express himself?
Mm-hmm.
And like, bro, that you don't understand how guilty I felt.
Bro.
I felt so guilty, and I mean that's one of the reasons why me and my younger brother never used to talk. And we never used to talk. I never used to, I used to talk to my sisters like they're girls. But me and my younger brother were like this. Everything we did like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when I left and I started doing good and like I started talking to him like my dad. And like it took me years until I clocked it.
Yeah.
And I realized why I wasn't talking to him. He didn't want to talk to me. Why would he want to talk to me when all I do is degrade him? All I do is talk shit. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Yeah.
Like why would he want to console me, bro? When I did that, oh my gosh. I felt so bad, and this is one of the reasons why I try to. I mean, we're still rebuilding the relationship. You know, what I mean, nothing is perfect. You know, and because of it's complicated when. It's complicated basically.
Yeah.
And I mean, we can talk now. We can just now. Like he can call me, I can call him. We can talk right now. It's a lot better. But I remember that period when I just clocked that the way I'm talking to him it doesn't help in any way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? It didn't help me. It wasn't because my dad was talking shit to me that I changed. It's because of I was envisioning myself and who I wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
And like, bro, that thing choked me real hard. So those are one of the things that I wish I clocked. And that's one of the things. That's one of the when I have kids. Those are one of the methods I'm not going to transfer to my kids.
Definitely.
It's the similarities that you see between you and your parents a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And we say, we'll never do all these things,
But
that
then
you
you
see yourself
see
doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And it's the emotional intelligence as well. Because I don't know if our parents ever like sat down and taught us like emotional intelligence per se.
Yeah. And I feel like it's because they never also, received that from their parents, especially African parents. Like that's something that they very much struggle with. And Peter, like you're the same, like it's me and my mom the same. Like the way she talks to me or like how I correct her, she gets defensive. And that's something that I only realized that I do like a year ago. Like I really had to sit down and be like, damn, like I'm also very defensive when people come at me because it's like, why are you coming at me? Like, and that's something that I'm also working on. But like, it's tough. Like you don't see these like patterns until
you
like,
grow up on it subconscious.
Yeah.
Facts. And it's just hoping that you can break through it, right? Because I think one good thing about African parents, for the most part, at least the ones I've encountered, is through everything, through all their shortcomings, they're always doing their best.
Yes.
And I think once you realize that they're doing their best, you too, you're at least trying to be the best of what you know. So the moment you see something, because you'll never hear an African, most African parents are not going to apologize. They're going to tell you sorry. I messed up and all that. But you see it in their action. They'll start treating you nicer for a period of time. They'll start being like, oh, you want me to buy you this thing?
Give me some meat, some chicken.
Just like, an example. Let's say like they lost something, right? They lost something. But you tell them that, oh, but it's actually here. I didn't see it. What are you talking about? My friend, go find it. Then you now bring this thing. You now pull it out. You now show that it was. So in your head's like, oh, sorry, I was right now. It's like, are you going to tell me sorry for like dragging my ass? Shouting at me. They don't tell you sorry when they say, oh. Then I say, you know that, oh. I said, okay, thank you.
Well, it actually happened to me one time because when I was younger, we used to, after church service, we used to buy suya, right? If you don't know what suya is like roasted meat with pepper, very spicy, right? So obviously we all wanted it, we all loved it. It came once in a blue moon, so when we have it, it's like a big party in the house. So what happened was they bought suya, all of us, they distributed it, we ate our own. But then the girl, like in Nigeria, we normally have maids, right? Maids that stay with us. So the maid, she had her own too, but for some reason it went missing. And my mom just started blaming me. And I was like, Mommy, I did steal her, I did
Yeah.
eat her suya.
Yeah.
She all blaming me, shouting at me. I was just like, bruh, like, why are you attacking me?
Yeah.
So in my head, I was just like, is it that she just doesn't like me? Like,
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
the child
yeah,
that she doesn't like? Because
Yeah.
to me, it just looked up like nowhere, like out of left field,
Yeah.
right? But then later on, they now found the suya.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything, she not started laughing. Like,
That's African parents, right?
yeah,
there.
she just started laughing. But I think the good thing, even though like my mom didn't really have a problem saying sorry, in that moment she didn't tell me sorry. But what she did was explain to me why she did what she did, right? Because in
Yeah,
her
they
head,
do that. They do that.
yeah, like in her head, she was like, "Why would my son steal?"
Yes.
And that thing, like, it's
Trigger.
like, bro, like,
Yeah.
I better fix this right here
Yeah.
and now
Mhm.
and end it. So it's not that she wanted to single me out from the rest of my siblings or whatever. I was a bad child, but just like she wanted to fix that. And then when she explained that to me, I was like, okay, at least I know that it's not that she doesn't she just doesn't like me. Like,
Yeah.
so at least my parents gave me explanations, which is something I really appreciate
Yeah,
to this day.
I think that's also one. That's a key thing because my parents also gave me explanations. Like we had sit downs. I was, my dad would just sit down with me, like sometimes with the family, but only me sometimes, and just talk
Yeah.
to me. You know what I mean, about things of like, especially the first son. You know what I mean, all those kind of talks. My dad would do that for me. So like, go sit down and explain to me, and that's one of the prides of how I have of like, you know, being in the position I am right now. Because I used to regret. I was like, why am I the first son? Why is it not my younger sister? Like, why is it not my older sister? Why is always the pressure always on me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he was also in that position. So like he just sat me down and explained it to me.
Oh yeah,
and
that was the
told
first
me-
one too, right?
Told me stories. My dad was the first one too. He told me stories. He told me the importance of certain things because of at the end of the day, you're the bedrock. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're the foundation. You know,
People are looking up to you.
you're looking up. You're the Peter after all, for a reason. You feel me? So
You're the junior.
exactly. So I just clocked it and I just realized that like at the end of the day, you know, I'm not like the de facto leader, but when someone has to be put in a position, step up,
Yeah.
my hand should always be there. My hand should always be raised. Basically, that's the whole meaning of, you know, being the first one and all this kind of stuff.
Yep.
All right, let me give it. Let's go into an easy one. You know, that was deep. You know, I love that. I love this
We
emotional
love the
side
deep
about
ones.
us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! But one thing I wish, even though it was low-key kind of my fault too, I wish my parents like forcibly forced me.
Forcibly forced.
Yeah, like
Wow.
like they forced me how to speak my language. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I agree.
Oh,
No, I definitely agree.
Like that language thing is actually is a huge thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think we're like a look generation of African kids coming out not speaking
Yeah,
the language.
a lot of
And,
us.
And that's so bad.
Yeah, it is
It's
bad.
so bad.
It is bad.
It's
Like my kids won't know how to speak my dialect because I don't know. Like
Yeah,
that's so painful.
it is.
I
It's not
I
my
think it's
parents.
something that you can change now, though.
Yeah.
Right. Like if you are serious at it, like
Yeah,
you
but
can,
I'm
you
not.
can
I'm not.
still
I'm not
learn,
in the
but
environment or space.
Yeah.
yeah,
to
I
do
feel
it.
you though.
I mean, I had opportunities. My parents gave me opportunities. I mean, my sisters. You see the difference between my sisters and the boys and the girls. My sisters kind of speak the language. They are proficient enough. But the boys are out here calavanting. Oh, let me go play football. Let me go do this. Let me go do that. I mean, I did like I was kind of getting it a little bit, but I went to the US and
And
you know,
then,
I
yeah.
wasn't speaking to
everything
I wasn't
was
speaking
off.
Igbo or Ika to anyone.
Yeah.
You know, so I just lost it. I mean, even now when my mom is trying to low-key speak Ika to me, I'm just like, oh, I'm like, I'll just say I want her name. You know, I want her name.
I don't understand what you're saying. Yeah,
Oh.
because but you know Loki though, because from what I've seen, I think it affected the Igbos a lot, and that thing Loki ties back to the Civil War, right? Because when the Igbos moved from, like for people that don't know, like in Nigeria we had the Civil War, tribal, Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, all that jazz. We can break it down in a whole different episode, but the bottom line is that like Igbos moved to Lagos, and Lagos is a predominantly Yoruba town. And once they find out that you're Igbo, you get like this, like Like they become,
get
it's almost
slighted.
like they're tribalist.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like a slight to your name.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of the time people try to hide the fact that they were Igbo.
I mean, your
so that
name
they don't
clearly
get-
shows it though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but like we also had English names, you know,
Yeah.
so that it doesn't show, so you don't get denied opportunities that you're meant to have. Because tribalism was a huge thing then.
Yeah.
you
I mean,
know,
still a
so
huge thing.
it's still a
In
huge thing.
that because the older generation is still in power.
Yep, exactly. So a lot, so even talking to parents, just like a lot of them are just like, I want to make sure that my children can speak English very well.
Yeah.
So they just speak English to them. I'm just like, bruh, like it was going to be learned anyways, but
Yeah. I mean,
It is what
I
it
think my
is.
parents tried, but it wasn't persistent. You know what I mean? They were like, oh,
Yeah.
do it at your own accords. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be the one to take initiative. But obviously, me and my younger brother were late bloomers. You feel me? We were late bloomers. So, like,
yeah.
there wasn't enough time. You know what I mean? There was not enough time because we did take a lot of things seriously. We played PSP,
I mean, we're
Game
kids,
Boy,
so-
Nintendos. We played football. So basically, all these stupid things that African parents don't like. That's what me and my younger brother used to do. We were like, let's go do this, let's go do this, because that's what we used to enjoy. But my sisters would be reading book. They were reading Archie.
Yeah.
You know Archie the comic.
Actually, the comic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
They were reading Archie the comic. They were reading books. You know, they'll be serious in school. They won't go outside and play sports. They were always indoors chilling. You know what I mean? It was always when NEPA takes light, they'll come outside. They will kick ball.
Now come on, play.
They'll
Yeah.
not kick ball in their face.
Oh man.
So
Yeah.
that happened a lot. So me and younger brother were lady boomers. So I do wish that I learned how to speak my language.
Yeah.
That's one thing
Yeah.
I do wish about.
It's just very important.
So-
Like for me,
Facts.
I think when I was growing up, my parents tried. I feel like that's also the best time for you to really get it down. Like as you're growing, they speak
Yeah,
it to you.
as a child.
Yeah.
Like,
But they started and then they stopped, and then obviously I forgot everything. But then I went back to Cameroon, and that helped a lot. My
Mhm.
grandmother doesn't speak any English at all, so it's very hard for us to have conversations now. When we
Yeah.
call them, I can only say so much. I can understand the language, but I can't there are only so many things I can say. So it's
Yeah.
just sad. I can't even talk to my grandparents.
yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, that was very true. I mean, I had my grandparents didn't go to school, but they kind
Yeah.
of knew English a little bit. They had broken English, pidgin English.
Mm-hmm.
But I do wish that I could communicate with them. I mean, I was a lot younger when most of them passed
Yeah.
away. But I do wish
Yeah.
that I could talk to them. You know, when you're with your granddad, it's kind of cute. When you're a kid, you look at your granddad, it's like, look at my grandfather, look at this old man. Old ass man. And that man was stern.
Oh,
Stern.
man. Was that your dad's dad or your mom's dad?
My dad's dad,
Yeah.
from my dad's side, my grandfather from
Yeah.
my dad's side, was a stern man. And you could just see the respect, the aura. Because my dad, my dad is ultimate authority in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So when my dad is kissing this guy's feet and bowing down, I'm just like,
Yeah.
"Be serious, man." Jesus Christ. I'm just shaking my voice those yale. You know what I mean? We're just doing everything. You know, when he calls you, say, how you doing? I say, I'm doing good, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So, when he asks you an Ika question, you just be shaking
Yeah.
no. You don't look at your dad, your dad does look at you like this. It's why won't you be able to answer?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's really one thing I wish I could have gotten down a lot earlier.
No, makes sense. This one's got a trivial, to be honest. But I wish they let me eat at my friend's house a little more.
Or go to your friend's house.
No, eat. Because when I go there,
yes,
That was a
low-key
big
thing.
thing. Yeah.
that was lucky.
I'm just like, bro, you're not going to give me this shit at home. Let me eat this thing now.
But I can understand why.
Yeah, I can
looking
understand
back
why.
now, yeah.
Yeah, I can
But
understand why.
Low-key though, these were okay, there are friends that they let me eat at their house easy. But obviously, me, my child brain, you're going there, they're not going to give you suya, orange juice, and all these things.
Yeah.
And they're giving it to you there.
Chisom, that was
And
lucky
that's
a
how you
big
don't
thing. I
eat.
remember my parents just tell me never eat something at someone's
At
house.
someone else's house, yep.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot
I
about that. That was a huge
Even
thing.
to today, my
I-
mom will still tell me that sometimes.
I need to ask them why. I think I
think
can use my reason to understand
I think-
but I need to understand where it really came from. Because I think it was very huge.
Yeah, it
with
was
them.
common. It was common during that time
Yeah.
period of people just all of a sudden they just go because of they ate something at their friend's house. Like, I mean, because your parents don't know these people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't know your friends' parents. So it's just like sketchy. You know, and like, you know, it's precaution measures basically. And I remember my parents was like, never eat. I mean, they used to get angry at us anytime we did it angry. Like, what's wrong with you? They not tell you can't close your mouth. Was you always eating something like that?
Yeah.
So those are always the kind of little self-disciplines that come into play. You know, restrain. Learn how to restrain yourself. Yeah, so I mean that's why when you see pressures, peer pressure doesn't mean anything to us because of we've been, you know, subconsciously taught, you know, how to deal with those kind of things.
Yeah.
Like discipline yourself, man. That discipline comes in tough.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You
guys have anyone?
Nah.
I have one.
Okay.
You have one?
You know, I'm all about my emotional side.
Okay.
But I wish my parents had taught me like how it's like weird. I don't really know how to phrase it, but like how to love, how to like act accordingly in a relationship, how to be in a relationship, you know, all like that encompassing.
How to have a prosperous relationship. Basically.
Yeah, and just how to like hold yourself.
Yeah. What is the expectations for yourself and for him?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean my parents told me not to date at all.
They're just like,
They're still
just stay
telling me
away
not
from
to
it.
date.
Yeah, and I'm
Really?
till now.
My parents are very much like they don't show any love towards themselves.
That's crazy.
It's like, and I think seeing that growing up was like, it was very weird to me because I would have friends, you know, their parents were like, you know, give them a little smooch, give them a little hug, like I love you.
Yeah.
My parents don't say I love you. Like we just started as a family saying I love you like a year ago or something like that.
Yeah.
Really?
And it's like it's weird to me now. Like when I'm on the phone, she'll be like, I love you, and I'm like, I love you too. Like
That's crazy.
And just like seeing like relationships, like that was never a thing. My dad, like relationships, sex, like that was something that we never talked about, never mentioned. If people were kissing on TV, my dad would change the channel. He would turn off the TV.
Oh.
Like the whole like the only thing that they ever really told me about that is that like study your book, don't talk to guys, don't date anyone. Like relationships are not acceptable. You can't have one. And that I feel like that lack of like support in that area really messed me up, you know, starting like being in my first relationship because I went into it with nothing, you know. I would do
no
my
expectations
research. Exactly, you know, I would read books, you know, watch movies, do that stuff, but like
you
that's
would
all
read
fictional.
books. You know, that's so crazy. I do feel that a lot of girls suffer from that in your kind of situation because they're so deprived that they go to external sources that you know their parents cannot really determine, like reading books, you know, reading blogs, watching YouTube videos and stuff like that, just to understand that kind of what that feels like, you know. And that's crazy because my parents kiss, you know, my parents are like very expressionate.
I've never seen my parents kiss ever.
You know what I mean? And my dad
ever.
I think you need to make them do it when they come from.
They're literally not going to.
My graduation gifts, I just need you guys to give
They're not going to. Like, they're just, I don't know. They're weird. Love them to death, but they're weird.
That's crazy. So
I think it's also a generational thing. Yeah. In a way, because I think we become a bit more romantic.
Yeah.
No, but like my grandparents, like before my grandfather passed away, rest in peace. Yeah. Like he's very like touchy feely with my grandma. You know, he'll give her a little kiss, give her a hug.
Yeah, maybe
he's
I'm
like my
Veronica,
Veronica. You know, like
yeah.
But my parents
actually,
don't do
you're right. Because when we talk about old school love, that's the way that men treat. I don't know.
They had chivalry, basically.
Yeah, there was chivalry. You know, there was chivalry. Definitely was.
I mean, me personally, like, for the relationship kind of things, like, I wasn't like allowed to date, but like I always told my parents I had girls I liked. I toasted babes, not like I toasted. I was indirectly saying I was toasting babes in school. And this was to my mom. I never told my dad because my dad was like, well, how come you didn't get so angry?
Yeah.
What are you doing trying to toast babes? So I was like always talking to my mom about it as a joke. So my mom was kind of like my safe space for relationships. You know what I mean? But I feel it's definitely different for girls and guys. To be frank with you,
it is. It very much is.
So.
And where?
I don't know. For me,
you go.
No, you keep going.
But no, I was gonna say like where my whole family's girls. Like my dad's the only guy, so I can see why it was very tough for him, and also him just being very shy and reserved, like having to even start that conversation. And my mom's just aggressive. Like I'll say one thing, she'll like come at me for no reason. So I never had anyone that I could turn to, and
Oh, yeah. I think when it came to the whole relationship thing, like both my parents are, because they are really good friends, so I always saw them as friends. So they are not the most like, they're not very expressional in public, but I feel like they be doing the most in private. You know what I'm saying? But like when it comes to like public settings, like is recently now that they start like showing things a bit more, because we're very private.
Yes,
Like keeping everything very private. Don't show, don't do that. Very conservative. Make sure you're wrapped yourself. Make sure you don't. It's like, don't show too much outside, but in wherever you are, you can do whatever you're doing once you're in private. So to me, that's what I saw a lot. My mom will obviously be teasing my dad a lot. Like she calls my dad, because my dad is an accountant. So every time she teases this accountant, very unromantic accountant. You know, but it's kind of like teasing, right? And in recent years, you see my dad like making strides, like do more expressional stuff. You know, but you see, I always heard him, like saw him do subtle things though, right? You see him like you see him like deliver a flower to my mom's office. You know, like things like that, or like he'll be like, oh, this is kind of weird. But anytime my mom calls him on the phone, the way he responds is, "He, babe." You know, instead of hi, you know, like my dad don't wear like, "He, baby, he, baby," you know. And that's so when I'm growing up, I like if I'm talking to a girl, I'll just be like,
Hey,
"He,
baby."
baby."
I love it.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
fire!
And like, so like all these little things. So I think that's low-key the way I am right now, because I don't like doing the most in public, even though I like
Same.
it to a certain degree. You know, like there's a certain amount like I'm okay showing and I want to show, right? But then I feel like I want to do the real most in private. You know, it's like that's just where I want like my little cocoon or setting to be, and like so. But I mean, at least I saw something. You know, I saw an example where it was like, even though the standard was still the same though, like no dating. Well, I've talked about that in previous episodes. None of that, right? So even when I was in my first relationship, but I'll be serious.
Honestly, I do think that's why a lot of relationships fail. Because of you don't have
Anything to go
you know,
off
like,
of.
everything to go off exactly. So like, remember like I told you guys when I got into my first relationship, I was just lost. I was a lost man
Same.
because of like so many things were just coming at me. You know what I mean? I didn't know how to manage.
Yeah.
I didn't know my priorities. Basically, that was what happened to me.
Yeah. So I was just like going off of what I knew, maybe what I saw, things I did, but I couldn't really talk to them actively while I was in it. So I couldn't really get that parental advice for what I need to do here and there. Because I think because I ended up telling them about the relationship a year after we broke up, like literally on my graduation. That's what I told them. Because remember they told me no dating till you graduate, so after school. So my graduation day, and I told them, okay, like this is actually what happened. This was it. But yo, I don't know. It was just always a private thing.
So can I ask this question? So like after you guys, you know, because we're all out of relationships, we're not in relationships. So after your first relationship experiences, you guys have been very careful about who you want to interact with, right?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
exactly.
Definitely.
So I think also that's one of the good thing about us experiences. Like when we have an experience, we always want to seek the improvement. You know what I mean? You know how like in America they can just go left,
Back
right.
to
They would date different people at the same time. I never learn never learn a lesson.
You're not learning from facts.
So
Peter, that's
so we're very careful with who, you know, we when we make mistakes we learn basically. So that's really important.
Yeah. We're seeking better, you know. So it's more like it's not, and like we're trying to improve ourselves. So and then when you're doing the steps to get into the next one, you don't just hop into it. You're like, okay, let me see
Think
this.
about
Let me see
it.
how they are. Let me see how they are in this setting. Let me see if we can actually work out here and there. And then you're like, okay. And then you're thinking about your future a lot more because low-key, you also don't want to go through heartbreak twice.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
that
painful,
is-
man. I'm a lover, you know. I'm a lover. I'm a lover.
I think I mess you up.
Actually, how many girls have I been? Like, there was actually probably only 2 girls in my life that I've actually shown genuine love to, and like, wow, bro, man, it pains. It's
tough.
painful, man.
Yeah.
It's painful.
Yeah.
I'm a lover. You feel me? And
Yeah,
I think I got
you're
that
trying
from
to-
my dad. That like,
Yeah.
you know, like I just
Yeah.
want to swoop you
You
off
want
and
to
bamboozle you. Just bamboozle you, baby.
Buy the Berkey company, man.
Yeah, exactly. I think I got that from my dad. You know, I'd be like, I like
Yeah.
it's for his wife, not for any other kind
Yeah.
of this thing.
Woman,
It's for his
yeah.
wife. You know, so that's why I'm very avid on like telling people like, don't be doing all this kind of nonsense for dates and stuff like that. Do it for your wife.
Good
You feel me?
vibes.
Good vibes. Good vibes. Walk bay. But that is personally what I believe in. But it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh man, do we have any? Do we have any more?
I think we're good, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to the future wifey.
Shout out to the future hubby.
Hey.
Shout out to the future wifey.
Mm.
Oof, man. That'll be weird though when we're all getting married and shit.
We'll bring them on the podcast.
Triple date.
You know what's so funny is like
Triple
if two of
date,
us,
yeah.
if two of us are married and the other one isn't, just pressure.
Oh,
Just
you'll
pressure.
not be like you.
You be the other one. I just
You'll be the single one in the group. It'll be like, oh,
yeah. Most
you
likely,
just be looking at them, do rubbish.
most likely, I feel it's going to be me. I feel I'm going to be the last person to marry. Most likely in this podcast. Not gonna lie. It's just probably how it's going to end up because Chisholm wants to marry earlier than me. Like Chisholm's mind is like already there. Bola is also already there. I mean, she's kind of gallivanting, but she's already kind of there. You feel? But me, I'm like, I beg me. I'm not in the stage of certainty.
You're taking your time.
Get to
I mean,
go.
I would lie to you. Like, I think my mind was there at a very young age, but the older I get, the more my mind is like
distance away from it.
It's not like this. It's more like you're like I need to think about a lot more than I thought I needed to think about.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to put a lot of things in place.
Yeah.
And being realistic, that thing takes time, especially in this modern day. It's not like the women we have in this day and age is not the same that we
Bro,
used
the
to have in the previous
Y'all are
generation.
different.
Yeah, that's
So
so
it's like we need to think about a lot more. So now I'm like, even though I did want to get married young, the older I get, the more I push it back.
Yeah.
The more I'm like,
Me, I have I've always had like clear objective of when I want to marry. You know what I mean? And I've already said it's like late 20s, early 30s. That's like my time period. And like I'm definitely going to get. I don't want to get married in my late 30s because I feel that's too long. To start having kids. And plus my options of like the age difference is also going to become really complicated.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So
honestly, I'm with you there. Like I don't want to get married in my 30s, but definitely like it's looking more late 20s now. It's looking more late 20s. That's what I'm thinking.
That's where it's at. I've always wanted to get married like 27, 28. But looking at it now, it might be more because if I'm trying to get married by then, I turned 23 this year. I need to be in a relationship for at least like a year, 2 years. Then we need to be engaged for like another 2 years or so. And then the wedding. And
engaged for 2 years?
Well,
Engaged
not
for
2
2
years, but
years.
like just the way the math is adding up. I don't know if I'm going to be married
math
by
is not
that. Yeah,
mathing.
it's not mathing. And especially with the men in this age, like it's, and my picky ass, like it's. You gotta be careful, yo.
You know what you need to do? You need to be in the spaces where the kind of caliber of man you want.
They're old.
Oh shit! I mean, you marry the old ones then. That's the way it is. But this is why I want my parents to come tell their story about how they met. Like, my dad has always had his eye on my mom for a very long
That's so
time.
cute.
For a very long time. So it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny because my dad was a banker, right? And he was like trying to get all his stuff sorted out and stuff like that. But he's always had an eye on my mom.
He was
Because
plotting.
they're from the same village. They're from the same village. You know what I mean? And like my mom went to university and stuff like that. My dad was like, okay, I'm looking for a wife. I'm trying to settle down. Bro, the way he just, like he was persistent, but like kind of like in a smooth kind of persistent way. You know, I just like this man. I can see how you bamboozled my mother. So that's honestly what I feel like doing. It's not as if he like obviously my mom he was always pure with his intentions. That's the thing that you need to realize. You have to be pure with your intentions.
Yes, very much.
You know what I mean? You have to be clear.
Yeah.
There was always telling my intentions like you're going to be my wife. You know what I mean? It was kind of cliche shit. That my dad used to do, and I was like, damn, man.
I love that.
That's what I want,
Yeah.
And I'm not out there trying to play around. I've always said this. I'm looking for a wifey. I'm done, toasting.
Doing the most. It's like
Doing the most, exactly.
facts, man. Because at the end of the day, like you need to, when you think about your future and where you're going, that's really where it's at. You know, it's like, bro, like you don't need. Men, But like we're all young people that need to establish ourselves, and we have big dreams.
Yeah.
To do that, you can't be playing around doing the most, wasting your time. I mean, if you can juggle both, small power to you, man. But most of us really can't. Like you need to focus, and especially with men, we're terrible at multitasking. That's why it's like we're terrible at that shit. So if you're trying to do multiple things at the same time, it's
You
like,
fuck
bro,
up.
like you mess up. That's just what it
All
is.
right. I think we should call
Yeah.
it a day.
Yeah. This episode took a whole different direction, but I loved it, man.
I love
deep, shallow, deep, shallow.
Honestly, I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah.
This was a really good. It showed another side of us, you know.
Yeah, facts.
All right, who
Facts.
wants to do the outro?
I'll do the outro.
Alright.
Thank you so much, guys, for sticking with us in another edition of the Afro Journal
Aren't you meant to do the proverb?
podcast. I'll do the proverb.
Okay,
Don't
okay,
worry,
okay,
bro.
okay.
I
You
got
got
you,
it,
man.
you got
Like, I got
Okay,
you, man.
okay.
Like, please subscribe, like, share. If you're listening on audio, leave a review.
Yo,
Bruh, like,
if you
We're
want,
giving you guys free good vibes.
if you want us to come and you guys should sell. Like, I want to hear like stories of like how African parents met. Cause lucky we
Ooh.
need stories like that, man. Like honestly, I would love to know how
Fact.
Pole and Pole's parents met and how they
The day
did
they
their
tell
thing.
me, I'll let you know.
My parents have told me theirs. If they want to come and share that, they can come and share it. I don't know about you, some too.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think my parents, their story is weird. Honestly, I think their story is nice.
I
but
think because in Nigeria it's so unique. It's a
Yeah.
completely different kind of perspective to this. So like Hollywood
and the
kind
way
of
the way they used to do
movies.
things back in the days is
Different,
different from
yeah.
how we do it now. So
exactly.
it's something else.
All right,
But
so
yeah, guys,
yeah.
leave your comments, do your thing, give Peter his nice stories. He wants to hear your stories, so
Yeah,
give him a good time, And yeah, follow us Afro_journal on all platforms. You already know the vibes. I'll leave you with a proverb for next week, and it goes like this: one small raindrop can be the beginning of a storm. One small raindrop can be the beginning of a storm. It's your lovey-dovey boy, It's your calm in the storm. We're talking about storm right now. I'm the calm in that storm, baby girl. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
baby.
It's your leader. It's your provider. I'm your high value man. Yes. I'm everything. Chisom, Ejike, Jeremiah, Okafo.
All right, Bolo, you want to go?
No, you got it.
All right. It is your. You are going to be my future wife, Peter Ikechukwu Aliogo Jr. Shout out to my future
Slide in them
wife.
DMs.
man.
Slide in them DMs.
Shout out to my future wife. And look, I'm not a big flexer and stuff like that, but I have value. My value is much more than what I flex. I will have the flex, but I'm not going to be out there showing it. But I'm just more than that. Just remember that, baby girls.
Tell
Boom.
them.
Love that. And it's your chocolate queen, always down for good vibes.
Good vibes always, all day, every day.
It doesn't have to be monetary. I'll take money less good vibes. Just, let me know. Ole Kume.
We love it. And we out, guys.
Like, share,
What's that?
subscribe.
Peace.
Leave a comment.